everyone, welcome to the channel. So we have entered into a new season, which is the season of Pisces, the last season before the new astrological year that is going to take place at the 20th of March 2026, obviously. This forecast is going to be as far as the influence of the sun is concerned, and the period is from February 18th to March 20th, where at 10:46 a.m. according to my calendar here, the sun is going to enter in Aries, into the star sign of Aries. And the first thing that I'm going to do, as per usual, is going to be the collective reading, what kind of a season we all have ahead of us. And in order to do that, let me just shuffle my cards. And then I'm going to do the draw. Oops, something happened. Hopefully that is not going to happen again. Hello, Sam. A long time no see. I'm okay, thank you. Right. So, well, that was weird. Right, first card for the Pisces season, that will be Knight of Pentacles. The one dignifier, or the second card, that will be the Empress. And the final one that we have, that will be the Magician. Those three cards. And at least according to these cards, this is a finishing season, not just because it's the last one of the previous astrological year, but these cards are showing that that is going to be the season taking kind of like final decisions where we do want to go off and what we do want to undertake in the next 12 seasons, probably, because with the Empress next to the Knight of Pentacles, we're talking about decisions that are going to bring a long-term consequences and do have the capacity and also the potential to create a rather comfortable life. But because the Empress is there, it does speaks that the results of these decisions, either or whether they are bitter or sweet, are ours to swallow down. So how can we make them sweeter than more sweeter than not? Well, under the influence of these cards, what's the best thing we can do is to take a break within the next 30 days, not for the whole duration of them, but for a fraction, because through withdrawal, through taking ourselves off the midst of activities and not being in the part of the whole process, at least for a little while, will allow us to see the things, will allow us to see the circumstances, the situation, the people's attitude, and so on and so forth in a much more objective manner than when we are basically involved in the whole process and having these influences of the circumstance of the people and so on directly pressed on us. And through this objective perspective, or through this objective perspective, we will be able to figure out what is going to be the best course of action or the best decision that will work for everyone concerned. And this objective view will allow us to make a long-term plans for a long-term prospects and for a long-term benefits. But make no mistake, this will be a rather very, very long process. Hello, Amelia. Welcome to the stream. Knight of Pentacles is a primary card. It shows that that will be a process of baby steps, one step after another, one thing follows after another, no shortcuts and no sophisticated and very complex maneuvers and also plans are gonna work in that process. So whatever you are about to start developing, whatever idea you do have within the next 30 days, you need to be patient with it because it's not something that will develop overnight. It's not also a something which is going to bring quick success. It's more slow but rather very steady. And thank you, Amelia. um Inconsistent uh, success. And also, what these cards are advising is that if there is a period you to lean into existing experience and existing skills you have rather than trying to uncover new ones, that will be the period, the next 30 days. You need to delve and again lean to your capacities that you are certain of, rather than experimenting, gambiting, and just trying out for the sake of it or for the shits and giggles. So, with that said, that is the collective reading. It's a transit that, if played right, is gonna well, I don't know how it's going to sound, but more like simplify our life in a way that is going to set things in order. It's going to set things in a straight line, in a string, that will allow us to follow them without having to wonder, without having to ask questions. And again, wondering whether things are going to work out or not. So, in simplify things in that sense, but also again is going to make the development and the progress slow but steady. So that was the collective reading again. And now there are going to be 12 readings just like this one. And I'm going to run down the ecliptic, meaning I'm going to start with Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces. Now, bear in mind that these are generalized readings for the star signs. And if you do want to have a personal reading, you can go to my website, which link you can find in the description down below. And other than that, if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support it, you can do so using Super Chat or a PayPal. The PayPal link you can also find in the description down below. And anyone who donates to the channel is going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That is guaranteed. The reading is going to contain the most important event that is going to happen to you throughout the next 30 days, throughout the season of Pisces, and also how this event is going to affect your life and is going to apply to you. So starting up with the first star sign, that will be Aries. You can keep up what star sign I'm reading for through the glyph being displayed right there. And thus, if you're watching it on a recording, on a video, you can just skim ahead and until you see your illustration, the illustration and the glyph of your star sign, and just watch it. Right. So for Aries, these are the three cards for Aries. So we do have the Ace of Cups, the World, and the Moon. And these cards are touching on an aspect that you have been robbed of. How far in the past? Well, that is subjective. What I mean is that for some of you, the recent past, for others, the distant past. But again, just for example, if you had end up being robbed from certain relationship or certain job or inheritance, for example, something you really hoped that you are going to get at some point, well, that is the season that you are about to get it. And the reasoning, at least according to these cards, is because you are born for it. What I mean is that is your inheritance by the universe, and therefore it can't escape you. That's a fate that cannot escape you. And this time around, you are about to get it, or rather like to acquire it for good. It's going to be yours, and no one will be able to take it away from you. And therefore, your mind, your consciousness is going to be freed from the concern of how you are going to handle yourself in that department, love, career, whatever, which will open up your mind for a new perspectives for the future, meaning that you can expect that within the next 30 days things are going to go so well for you that you're going to start thinking about a new challenges for yourself, new heights to conquer, for the lack of better word here. And the result of this dream coming true will be that it's going to transcend your day-to-day reality into something that you're going to freaking love it. But also it's going to make you ask yourself a question. Why now? uh, why that, for example, a good fortune is happening to me? Bottom line is that because the circumstances under which um, this wish of yours takes place are gonna be muddy, they are going to be obscure, for the lack of a better word here. uh, it will make you emotionally uncertain and insecure whether you will be able to sustain it or not, whether this good fortune is going to be there to stay or not. Well, again, according to these cards, it's going to be there to stay, but still you're going to have your doubts. And that will make you feel emotionally uncertain and emotionally insecure, at least for the season of Pisces. My advice to you, Aries, just live in the moment and enjoy every single second of it. Simple as that. Okay, next, that will be Taurus. Um, I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on. It's just the connection breaks. It's kind of weird. Thank you, Sean. Those are cards for Taurus. We do have the Lovers, Eight of Wands, and Ten of Cups. Well, it could have not been because the feed cuts off on my end, while I still do have an internet, which is very weird. The internet isn't breaking up. So basically YouTube doesn't get the feed, or it rejects it and then restores it. Weird. Anyway, Taurus. This season of Pisces will affect you and your life in a very positive manner. So basically, what takes place here is that you are going to receive a lot of options available, love-wise and career-wise as well. Basically, they're going to, for the lack of a better word, plague your life. Okay, in a good sense, plague your life. You are going to have options if you are single, for example, to date. You're going to have options for job if you are looking for one, options to work with someone and whatnot. It's just the options are going to be around you. And the only trouble that I am seeing looking at these cards is that you're going to have trouble stopping yourself into an option, right? Figuring out or deciding which one you are going to go forward with, because every single one of them is going to have its pros and cons, and it will be very difficult to decide eventually what to settle on. Which undecisiveness can rob you from a lot of success and also from a lot of gains. So the last thing you wanna do here is lean to that side of the human nature that always wants more. What I'm trying to say here is that, let me give you an example. Say I don't know, you're looking for a house, okay, and you end up on an option that is really good, you really like it, it fits very well with your lifestyle and whatnot, but in the same time, when you think about it in a couple of days, um, you're saying to yourself, you know what, if I wait for a few more days, something better may pop up. And while that may be true, this feeling at the first instance, this feeling is going to be always with you within these 30 days, at least according to the card. And then when something slightly better comes out from the first option, uh, you're gonna say that to yourself, or if I wait another couple of days or maybe a week, something even better may pop up and whatnot, and you just gonna lose the momentum. So it's very important to be decisive going forward in these 30 days, and whenever at the moment you end up with an option that suits you well and it basically serves you, just take it, because again, they all are going to have their own pros and cons, and you will always going to have something to lash into and something to reject. So for that reason, don't waste your time and just pick up something, because you will not gonna have the moment where you will say perfect, although in the same time the option is going to be again harmonious to you, so it's going to serve you, because you have a very important question to learn in these 30 days, that no matter how well you are financially, no matter how well you are in love, you just cannot have everything. And that's going to be the season that is going to teach you that, or is going to give you the lesson one more time. MT, thank you for the 20. Thank you, MT. Let me put you into the list, and just to warn you that there is something going on with the YouTube feed. It's breaking up. So if I am unable to finish my live stream, you're gonna have the reading on the next live stream. Your donation is not gonna go in vain. Uh, yeah, you want the conjunction in between Saturn and Neptune. All right. Right. Okay. You want a reading on that. All right. So at the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading that again is going to contain an event, the most important event of this conjunction for you, and how this event is going to apply to your life. All right, next, that will be Gemini. It's really nice. These are the cards: Three of Wands, Five of Wands, and then Justice. This will be very busy season. Uh, you're gonna end up being with a lot on your plate to handle, most likely business wise, or even if it is not business wise, even if it doesn't relate and concern to your job, still is going to bring a lot of gains to you. So this isn't going to be, we aren't talking about chores here, right? We aren't talking about responsibilities that are more of a maintenance rather than progress, and kind of like rather than growth. These are a growthful challenges which you are going to stumble upon, and in the most part you are going to feel quite compelled to try out, sensing that that is something like a lifetime opportunity for you. While it's not going to be, this is just how it's going to look like, and what I'm trying to say here is that it will feel like you ain't going to get that opportunity again. That's not true. If you decide to pass on it, because again, you're going to have a lot on your plate, it will be very difficult to find time for yourself, to find time for your loved ones, to find time just to kind of like breathe out, rest, find time to respite, and just, enjoy your time. So that will be the negative side of the matter, right? You just going to scamper around, and if the day have 27 hours, it will be an hour shorter than you need. But on the bright side, these 30 days are the days where you make a serious reversal in your life, especially in the fields and the areas that you do consider a failure. So say you are considering your career development right now a failure, right? You just don't have the job you want, or you just don't have the clients you want, or you just don't have the monetary success that you want. Well, that's the 30 days where you make a reversal and you make a breakthrough, and you actually exceed the limits of your expectations. And this is going to happen through a very seemingly random circumstances. Just everything is going to shift like out of nowhere, and most of you are going to wonder what you deserve this with, right? What you did to deserve this with. Well, it's quite long to explain here, but my point is, don't batter yourself, because I know people that are not going to take something, they're not going to take an opportunity thinking that they just don't deserve it. That's not your case. You do because the very least you have established a very solid patterns, either of patterns of work, either patterns of making love, if you will, and these patterns do deserve development, they do deserve progression, and that's going to be your chance of doing so. So this is going to be a season that, again, you will be very busy, but in the same time you're going to have a lot of challenges to conquer, every single one of them bringing you gains and prospect that is exceeding your expectations. And if you are hoping that you are gonna win or have a breakthrough in the very last minute in a situation, well, that's the season that you're gonna get. That you will have that breakthrough and that win. Okay, so next, that will be Cancer. These are the cards for you. We have the Empress, Three of Swords, and also the Queen of Wands. Mm. Your uh, your social interactions throughout the next 30 days are going to be rough. They will be rough. The reason for how can I approach that? Mm, the situation goes like that. You're gonna have at some point, you're gonna have a major burden on your shoulders that a lot of fates are going to ride on. Just to give you an example, at some point in your hands, you will hold the fate of the whole department at work. From your performance or from your say or from your display will depend whether that, for example, department is going to move forward, whether that department is going to win the subsidy, whether it's going to win the client or the project, which is going to keep it afloat. This is going to be a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and at least at first, you will very well gonna know what you gotta do, what is the right course of action, and that is where the shitstorm takes place. Because everyone else involved is gonna have their own opinion, and when you do not agree with some of their opinions, where you know genuinely that these are a wrong opinions, right? These are a wrong steps which you are forced and pushed to do, mental cruelty in your direction, you're going to be called names, insulted, and undermined as well. And it's going to be very tough, very, very tough to maintain the good demeanor with those around you, with colleagues, friends, family members, if you will. And most of you are going to feel compelled that you need to just take a break, few days off, a week off, maybe the whole season off. Because again, at the end of the day, uh, on you, it falls on you the heavy burden to decide how you want to approach the whole thing. And there is a big chance that through this mental cruelty and criticism, you may be swayed in the wrong direction at some point. Because again, remember, one lie or one wrong opinion be said a thousand times, it kind of becomes stronger than the truth. And even though people know that it's not the right thing to do, they do it anyway because everyone else wants it, right? And it will be a colossal fuck up if you allow this negative influence of those around you to sway your opinion, because this is going to be a period where everyone has the tricks of the trade, everyone is jack of anything. Hello, and good morning, News Devon. Welcome to the stream. So you have a tough job or a tough responsibility, I would say. Hello, Joku. Welcome to the stream. News Devon, thank you for the £5. Thank you. At the end of the stream, you're gonna have your personalized reading. All right, these are the cards. We have 3 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and also Knights of Pentacles. This is a season where you will be rewarded, and these rewards are on top of a prolonged job or prolonged work or a prolonged performance. And when I say performance, think of it that way. Say you tried for many months to impress someone, to impress the girl you like or the man you like, right? And it is just up until this point, your attempts are falling on deaf ears. Well, that will be the season where your consistent work, okay, your tenacity, whichever way you want to call it, is going to be rewarded with either a recognition, bonuses, positions, respect, and so on and so forth. Whatever your efforts was directed and aimed to. And this reward is going to open up a door for even a further progress in that direction. But the progress from there on moving forward is going to be quite challenging in a good way. Okay, this is going to be a new fields of expansion, a new fields of growth where you can learn new stuff, where you can basically improve yourself in many ways, or grow, simply as that. The issue is that this is gonna cost you a friendship for what those cards are showing here. Um, can I put it towards there is a person, I don't know how close that person is going to be to you. It doesn't seem that close, at least from these cards, but still that person has something in mind for you. Okay, they just have you included in their plans and they are around you because of that inclusion. And now, in the next 30 days, as soon as you receive these rewards, you now are going to have something else to worry about or to be concerned about, to be focused on, to have expectations for that does not include that individual, or at least it doesn't include them that significantly. And your relationship with that woman or with that guy is just gonna wane away, right? It's going to diminish. Not deteriorate though, but diminish. And your friendship or business partnership or whatever connection you do have is gonna go thinner and thinner. And while it's possible to maintain it and to keep it for the future, it's not going to be as polished as it was before. But it will be well worth it, at least for what those cards are displaying. I mean, whatever you are expecting, you can achieve. It's a possibility to start achieving in these 30 days. Okay, next that will be Virgo. Give me a second. Astrology happenings. Thank you for the 20. Thank you. Let me put you into the list. And at the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading on what do you need to know, which is going to contain the most important event in the recent future or the near future that is ahead of you, and how this event is going to apply to your life. Thank you again. Okay, let's get back to the reading. A person is going to appear in your life. I do think that that's a brand new one. Or if it is someone you know, right now you are not on the good terms with the guy or with the woman. Simply, you are on the knife, on the knife's edge against one another. But something is going to happen. The circumstances will differ. One level are going to have one circumstance, another other circumstances, but this edge is going to be taken off from the interaction in between you and that person. And long and behold, that one is going to stir your life in the given department. They may stir your love life, they may stir your business life, your social life, uh, and so on and so forth. Hello, Yadabi, welcome to the stream. And the reason for that stirring is that they do have the enterprises you require. So this area of your life, whether the love department or the business department, uh, as the, oh my god, I don't know even how to explain it, as um, the road forward open. It's quite difficult for me to explain it. Think of it that way, that you don't have an options available, and you struggle to keep afloat. For example, you don't have options available to make money. You keep struggling, having ends meet, month to month, living check to check, and so on and so forth. And suddenly, you kind of like settle things with someone around you, and that person now has some options for you to make money from. Okay, because they are now on a good terms for you. That is what takes place. If that is that you do know that person. If you don't, well, that is someone that you're just going to get introduced with within the next 30 days. And this guy or a woman, it's just is gonna end the era of the turmoil for you. They will just gonna sap the problems or the concerns you have, and now you're gonna have not many, but a one option available in front of you. And I'm saying an option available because you still have the choice whether to take it or leave it. But if you decide to take it, this option will do one of the two things for you. Either it's going to present you with a long-term job, business, or a partnership, business partnership, or if it is in the love department, an option for unfolding true love. Either way, the endeavor or the enterprise is going to answer all of your ideals and as well criteria. So that is going to be the ideal job for you or the ideal relationship for you. The only thing that bestows upon you to do is trust the person. Simple as that. Next one, that will be Libra. Here are your cards, Libra. Uh, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, and also the Chariot. In the next 30 days, it will appear that you and someone else want the same thing without having to share, which is going to be brilliant. For example, you do want the same business to succeed, or you do want the same person to fail. It's basically you do have the same ambition without having to share benefits from it. It's just that ambition, the fulfillment of that ambition is going to benefit you both uh, to the full extent. No different than you wanting to start a certain job while in the same time someone that has the connection wants you to do the same thing. Okay, and this will is gonna make things super easy for you, far easier than if you have to do it on your own. And connecting with that individual, with that person, which might very well be someone you already know and you're going to recognize them, but by acknowledging their astute sense of prevailing. They just know what to do in order to get things further, in order to get things right. And they have a very astute understanding as well into the human nature. Basically, they always know what you need, and they always know what you are good at and fumble into, right? So they can place you at the right position where you can be 100% efficient. They always know what to say in order to make you laugh, or they always know what to say in order to make you feel like shit. Either way, that is a person who just have the recipe of success. And these 30 days into the season of Pisces for you, Libra, they are presenting you that. And now that I think of, imagine that we do have a Libra which wants to break through into the bodybuilding scene. Okay, this person may be a coach that sees potential in them and wants them to do the same thing, to break through into the bodybuilding stage, and they do have exactly the regiment that this bodybuilder will require in order to do so, and is going to make the work far easier to the bodybuilder, and is going to make the work far easier to the coach as well, because you are going to synchronize with that person very, very well. And also you're going to have a lot of fun with them, but that is secondary to the aspect and to the influence of these cards, that you will be able now to make your ambition, or translate your ambition into the real world and make a real progress into it. All right, next, that is Scorpio. These are the cards for Scorpio, my friends. So we do have a Six of Cups with the Seven of Cups and the Emperor. This is going to be a pleasant season for us, Scorpio. For the most part, everything you do is going to bring us pleasure. People we meet, the tasks we take on, the chores we do, it's just everything will carry on a certain feeling of enjoyment, and as well a sense of pleasure for the most part. And this is going to be a season where small wishes and small dreams in our lives will become possible. These aren't going to be the grand, the grand dreams. I don't know how to how to put it to words here, but my point is that think of that. For example, you always want to visit a certain place, but you didn't had the possibility up until this point, whether the borders were closed or whether the place was off limit, and suddenly, within these 30 days, the limits to that place get open, and now everyone can visit. So you can visit, and this dream of yours to visit, say, a certain country that was off limits to your country or to your citizenship, now it's possible to you. Now, whether you are going to fulfill these wishes or not is entirely up for you to decide, but nonetheless, these are these are activities that you can very well do. Now that I think of, also, another example to give you is, say that you really want to share something with your neighbor, but your neighbor is so mad at you that they don't want to talk with you at all, and therefore that is off your limits, right? But in the next 30 days, something happens, you mend your relationship, and now this wish of yours to share a good news with them, or some kind of a new recipe, some kind of a new cooking recipe, now it's within the limits, and you can very well do it. And this is going to increase even further the pleasure. So this will be rather yeah, it's mundane season for us, Scorpio, where not a solid progress is going to be accomplished. Okay, that isn't going to be a season where we are going to become rich or where we are going to get on the top of the world. That is going to be a season where every single deed, where every single chore, every single task we are part of is just gonna make us happy, and every single person we interact with is going to be a person that we will thoroughly enjoy talking with, going out with, and in generally interacting with. Which is, and therefore is going to be a season that we're just gonna feel good. And the stress, if you are feeling stress right now, completely washed away within this season. All right, next that will be Sagittarius. These are your cards: Two of Swords, Temperance, and then Ace of Pentacles. I'll need a minute. That will be an important season that a lot could be lost in it. In this season, there is going to be a massive lie, which doesn't have to come from the mouth of someone. You may be lying to yourself. Okay, seeing a certain circumstances, and while the red flags are all over the place, you still are convincing yourself that that's a good opportunity. In fact, that's the only opportunity to move forward, and you couldn't be more wrong. Okay, this is a season where people which are opposition to you, that are not sharing an opinion with you, they have a completely different points of view, they do have a completely different understanding on the matter, are gonna point your mistake. They could be your rivals, they could be your competitors, they could be um, your opposition. But even in rivalry, okay, even in competition, there is a, a code of honor. There is a dignity to be maintained, and they are going to do that favor to you out of it, right? Because they do respect you, and it's just, it will not feel, or rather, like, basically they would have want someone to do that for them as well if they were in your shoes. And that's why it's going to be important, Sagittarius, that within the next 30 days, you do listen to every single advice you get, especially if it comes from a place you do not expect advice to come around. I'm not saying that you should take on the advice, but just listen to it, because the more you wait on making a definitive actions or definitive decisions, especially when these actions or decisions are about you involving yourself in something that looks like is going to bring you lucrative business maneuvers or harmoniously flowing relationships. So the more you delay, the more the obvious, or rather, like, the most beneficial option for you and the most beneficial action for you will become more and more obvious. And by the end, when you realize what is your best move, you will see that that is just not as gainful opportunity as you are seeing it. That is not as rare, even as rare opportunity as you thought it is at first, and it's not going to bring you as much money as something else can, and it's not going to give you as much harmony as something else can. So you're not just only going to open up a more options available for you, but you will bestow an equilibrium in your life, where every area is going to exist for itself and is not going to interfere with another area, meaning that your job is not going to interfere with your love life, and you can run both simultaneously, and vice versa. And thus, you can achieve peace, but it will take you to listen to those which you wouldn't listen to under other circumstances. Okay, next one, that will be Capricorn. These are your cards, Capricorn. Page of Wands, Eight of Swords, and Ace of Cups. This is going to be the season of dynamic for you. A lot of new enterprises for you to enjoy and to experience, or a lot of experiences to experience, okay? New experiences for you to handle and to be a part of. Now, the only problem and the only issue that I can see from these cards is that these are going to be experiences you haven't thought of, and therefore aren't going to be experiences you hoped to be a part of. That doesn't make them bad, though. That doesn't make them unwanted. It's just a slight disappointment that, for example, the person you hope to go out with is not going to be the one that is going to invite you on a date. But that doesn't mean that the person which is going to invite you on a date isn't going to be a handsome and less likable than the one you want to go out on a date with. Okay, so it's very important that you are open for just everything new. And even more than that, with the Eight of Swords to the Page of Wands, um, this newness, which is going to basically flood your life, you will feel compelled to try out everything. And by the end of the season, you will be very grateful and also thankful to yourself that you actually allowed yourself to experience new stuff and to give yourself a huge amount of freedom to do so. And that will also do something else, which will be a very big additive, for a lack of better words here, for your future experiences after the season is over, and that is to remind you of your own personal strength, which could play a vital and significant role into you detaching yourself of certain dependencies further down the road that you simply are needed and are dependencies latching a chain on your neck that is holding you back. You may figure out that, for example, there is a person you are too much dependent on, that you just don't need them around anymore. Okay, and that dependency on them is just slowing you down and is not allowing you to take certain options, which can make you quite happy. Now, and one more thing here, you're also going to be a bit more touchy within the season, so and more emotional, if I may put it that way, in a sense of that certain expressions, words, and basically humans' behavior is gonna get on your nerves more often than not. Therefore, you're going to be less tolerant, if I may put it that way. Next, that will be Aquarius. The Moon, Six of Pentacles, and Five of Swords. I wish I could say more than that, but this is going to be a rather a short one. These cards are showing that that will be a fated season for Aquarius, and things which they are born for to happen to them are going to happen within these 30 days. These are going to be things and circumstances which are going to set off Aquarius towards a destination. That destination could be a job, a person, a place, you know, that they are meant to be at. And there is not a shred of thing you can do, neither of us, because I am sun in Aquarius, can do to change. And the reason why we won't be able to change it, actually, we do have a couple of reasons. The lesser one is that the hierarchy will not allow it. Basically, we aren't as further ahead as we can in order to influence the circumstances. The bigger reason, though, is that we won't be able to put our finger on why certain circumstances are taking place, why that person that we are hanging out with and we want to date with isn't calling back. Okay, we haven't done anything wrong. We have been honest, we show candor, we like them, they like us, or for what they are showing us, but they aren't calling, or they are not answering our phone. It's just we can't be able to put our finger on. Well, the simple reason is because the one that we are meant for is waiting for us few weeks ahead into the future, and it is just the universe is clearing out a space and room, and we can't do a shred about it, a shred of thing about it. So while that's a good thing, okay, while the universe is gonna put us back on track, for a lack of better expression here, this obscurity of events and circumstances are going to make us feel very insecure about the future, about the opinion of the people around us, and in generally about our survival as well. And that is a season where we need to cling on the idea that there are no wrong choices. Okay, every decision is taken on the best information we had on the given time, and therefore it's the right decision in any given moment, and thus we shouldn't go back on our decisions but instead move forward into the future with them. Oh, and one last thing, we should not allow not emotions but fantasies to run wild. Just whenever you catch yourself that you're fantasizing about the doom and gloom, because this is going to be a very common and prominent state of Aquarius within this season, just pinch yourself with something, because what you are fantasizing about and what you think is going to happen is further to the truth than you know. And last but not least, the seasonal king, which is Pisces. The sun is running through you, so let's check on how it's going to affect you. These are the cards. I would have preferred the Chariot to be the frontal one, but that that will do a massive triumph. If the Chariot was the frontal card, the triumph would have been kind of like a wishful result. Now it's a triumph of a plan with the Knight of Pentacles at front. You're going to have a sequence figured out. You're going to have a plan developed. You're going to have an idea in your mind, and it will be a massive success because you're going to know how to get it done. I mean, you're going to know what step after which is following, and therefore there will be no margin or room for error. And under that, I mean that there is no way you're going to get things wrong, right? And for certain, this sequence of actions, this sequence of events that you figured out, definitely are going to lead you to the fulfillment of the desired results and the desired dream that you are holding in your heart. So that is a season that, if the expression "I have to believe in myself" means something to you, that is the season where it has to mean the most for you, because it's going to be your idea, it's going to be your own personal progress, and again, your own personal triumph. You will feel very proud of yourself just for the fact that you have figured it out. But the more you progress in this sequence, in this plan, the more proud you are going to be on yourself, and also the more self-reliant, and therefore you will feel less and less need to share, and less need for help, and less need for any kind of dependencies, and which is going to start improving your day-to-day routine, your feelings through it, going through it as well, and it will slowly but surely going to make you more and more successful. Whether you're going to follow that plan or not, it is your choice, but it will be a foolish endeavor not to. All right, so that was for the 12th, and now the super chat readings are gonna take place. So anyone who donated on the channel, either through super chat icon or through the super chat icon at the chat, or through PayPal, which link you can find in the description down below, is about to get a reading right now, personalized reading, and the reading is gonna show them an event, the most important event, and also how this event is going to affect their lives. And first one will be MT, which wants to know about the Saturn and Neptune conjunction. So let's have a look at the most important event which this conjunction is gonna do for you, or is going to create rather for you, and how this event is going to affect your life. So basically the most important thing that is going to happen as far as Neptune and Saturn, their conjunction is concerned. Okay. It's work related. MT. All right, these are your tarot cards. Oh my God. Well, this is going to happen within the next 1 year, right? Not for the next 36 years, but within the next 1 year, because that is as far as the tarot cards go. I mean, because I just want to take a minute to explain here. So tarot is a conglomeration of three arts: the art of astrology, the art of Kabbalah, and the art of numerology, right? And as what it takes from the numerology, it is the cycles. It works on cycles, and one cycle in numerology is 1 year. So it doesn't go further than that. Therefore, you can expect that to happen unless you define the time yourself, and the definition cannot be exceeding 1 year. It's within the year, right? So within this 1 year from now, you are going to have a business opportunity, a working opportunity, and it will be to work for someone, okay? To work for someone bigger than you are, because we know each other. I know that you do have your own thing, you do have your own business. That is working for another business, maybe wider, bigger company than yours will want to buy your business, or will want to hire you. They're going to give you a choice to work for them. And at first, or it's kind of like it's gonna be a mixed feeling for you, because you will know that through them or through that person, it could be just another business owner that is just bigger than you are, okay? Or it could be also an investor that wants to work with you. But you're gonna know two things. They are going to be immediately obvious. That without them, you have hit a plateau, at least for now, and you can't go bigger than you are. But also, and therefore through them you can expand your own business, but also working with them will constrain you because they will be on top of you. Okay, they will be the higher authority in the collaboration, and therefore you will need them to allow you stuff. You will need their approval if you want to do one thing or another with your own business. And this will be the disappointing part, that it will be really good business opportunity, it will be really good work, but the conditions and the circumstances are unfulfilling. What those cards are saying is that these conditions are not final, and yes, you may start on rather unfulfilling and slightly disappointing conditions, but they are up for a change into the future. And the future holds a very good perspective for you and the person or the entity you can make a partnership with, a business working partnership with. So that is the most important thing that Saturn conjuncting Neptune is creating in your life within the next 1 year for you. Okay. Next, that will be astrology happenings. Right. These are your cards, astrology happenings. So what do you need to know? It is that someone is stealing from you. Uh, Probably money, resources. The cards are saying resources, but I do think that these are a resources. And when I say stealing, that's a funny expression in English, because when you don't, can I put it to words? Um, Say you can offer a new product, but you don't offer it. What you say is that you are losing money on it. While in my language, these aren't lost money, it's they are kind of like not developed money, right? or not acquired money, which isn't the same thing of losing money. Losing money, it is when you have the money and you lose them. For example, gambling. For example, buying yourself something you don't need. That is losing money. Not making money is not the same of losing money. So by finding that that someone is stealing from you, what I mean is that because that someone is around, you aren't making money off something. So they are robbing you more of the opportunity rather than actually stealing money from you. They may not be paying you as well as they can. They may not be linking you with the person that can buy the product you're offering, or you know, they may not be giving you the credit you deserve. So basically, that is the steal or the theft that I'm talking about. And you will figure it out. Okay, you will figure it out, and you're gonna have kind of like their fate in your hands because you are going to be in the right. And because of it, you can transform it into a very gainful opportunity to get even more than what you were capable of if they haven't done their thing. Not, for example, you may have the opportunity to sue them for a lost benefits, and or rather like for material damages and whatnot. Okay, that's an opportunity, and get far more than you could have actually get um, if they haven't done that thing. The process is going to be crushing at first because for what the cards are showing, that's a person you really trust, and you will figure it out. You will realize that basically you have placed your trust into the wrong place. But you're going to have a choice what to do from there. You can either talk with them and get them in line, or you can have a payback. The choice will be yours. But you can gain from that situation big time. So again, while at first it's going to be crushing when you think about it, it's actually going to benefit you. So that is what you need to know. And last but not least, news devon. So you also want to know what is coming your way, or what is happening around you right now that you aren't aware of. So these are the cards. Give me a minute. It's about the commitment you have right now, maybe a recent one. Are you dating someone that you have recently started, or probably working with someone that you have recently started? A recent friend? Any of it? Because it's a commitment, but not kind of like finished one. What I mean is it's not taken its final shape. That commitment. No, you don't. Well, I'm not done, News Devon. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what the cards are talking about here, because it is a commitment that is still um, undergoing process. But at the end of the day, now that I think of, oh, Shauna say, I already done your reading. You can rewind a little bit to listen to it. Back to you, News Devon. That I think of that is something you need to know. Therefore, you don't know it right now. Um, so it is a commitment which it is a commitment you have which still haven't shaped entirely. There is still room to grow. Hey, Taco, welcome to the stream. Oh, and thank you for the $22.22. Thank you. You will be next, mate. You will be next because I'm almost done with the current super chat. Um, this commitment will happen to be more beneficial than you might think. And the opinion of the lack of benefits right now, it is because of the person from the other side. They just seem like they can't hold their interest to for a long time at one place, okay, and constantly jumping from one thing or another. So therefore, they don't breed much of a confidence that something meaningful can happen with them, right? That can happen in between you and them. That, for example, meaningful relationship, meaningful friendship, or a meaningful business partnership can happen in between you and them. But it can, and most likely it will. Depending on what kind of commitment that is, you can expect in between you and them to have the opportunity to establish either a quite of a lucrative projects, lucrative ideas, or a quite a harmonious relationships in between you and them. And the more and more you are part of this commitment, of this partnership or a friendship, the more content you will feel toward the whole enterprise. So that is what you need to know. It is that you do have a relationship which is barely scratched the surface in terms of improvement and how much can offer to you. And the reason that it hadn't up until this point, it is because the person from the other side haven't settled on what their best interest is in. Sean, thank you for the 20. All right, Taco, as per our agreement, you're going to be last. So now it's Sean's turn. Sean, I'm going to shuffle and then going to have a look. What do you need to know? You're welcome, Nizibon. All right, Sean, those are your cards. So, few things it is what you need to know. Um, One of the things is that you will reconcile a relationship, or the process has started a relationship to be reconciled. And within this season, there is going to be back and forth in terms of nice gests or gestures in between you and the person. Um, you're welcome, Sean, to say. In between you and the person that you are mending the relationship with, and in the same time you will adopt the process will involve you and them adopting the right behavior and the right demeanor toward each other, so you can expect to not just only to improve that relationship and to mend it, but also to have the capacity to maintain it probably for the rest of your life. And also, what you need to know, I can't say that literally, okay, because the YouTube guidelines are preventing me, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a workaround here. Your physical well-being will improve, okay, slightly, but it will improve. Um, which is going to give you the peace of mind and also an idea how to proceed from here on moving forward. In this season, Sean, it will be best if you kind of like conserve yourself, especially mentally. So if you, I don't know you, mate, but if you are a type of a person who seeks the approval of the people around, you need to use these next 30 days to banish this affinity of yours and kind of like to listen to yourself more than the others. Because if you think that something is good for you, doesn't matter what anyone else is gonna say, okay? Because it's not good for them, it's good for you. And so you shouldn't feel the need to seek approval or a validation from anyone around to do what you think is good for you. So that is what you need to know. These are your Lenormand cards. So we do have the snake, the tower, and the book. And these are one of the rare occasions that the tower card actually relates to someone from your family, or it could be also to your boss. It does speaks an authority. So this is an authority or kind of like a person that sits above you in the hierarchy. Could be the family hierarchy, could be the working hierarchy, okay? That is doing something secretive. Basically, they aren't telling you their plan, for the lack of better words, or they're doing something behind your back. And you're going to figure it out. So these are your tarot cards here. We do have 7 of swords with the 6 of swords and with the 7 of wands. So you will figure out that there is someone from your, it's the closest circle really, because your fates are intertwined, at least for now. That is doing things behind your back, undermining your right on something. Okay. Kind of like they're undermining your position, and this is going to basically put you in a state where you will have to oppose, and your opposition can be quite successful for what those cards are showing. Yes, you will need to resort to certain actions that you haven't thought you will have to resort to, or you are going to have to do up until this point, but alas, that will be the moment where you're going to cross that line. However, again, your opposition can be very successful, and this is going to be the season where you will kind of like stand your ground and not just only demand but also earn what you're owed. either in respect, either in finances, you know, either in position, um, either in attitude, and what you are gonna earn from that, you know, that you have been owed, you can invest into your own agenda from here on moving forward. And that will be the last business you're gonna have with the guy or with the woman. You're gonna be pretty much done with them from there on moving forward, and you're gonna leave them to handle life the best or the way they see best, without ever concerning with them ever again. So that is one less sneaky person in your life than before, Taco. The last unpleasant experience with that one, where they will kind of like, I think, get destroyed, for the lack of a better word. So that is what you need to know, mate. That is what this season is going to manifest in your life. All right. So this is gonna do it for tonight, guys and girls. Mm, thank you so much for watching. You're welcome, Taco. Thank you as well so much for your generosity. And we are gonna see each other hopefully Sunday. Until then, bye.